Hello everyone, and welcome to week 3 of March on Wagon Wonderment, where we are going to focus on leash pulling. Do you risk pulling your arm out of your socket on every walk that you go on? Does your dog think that going on a walk means tug of war? Maybe your dog sees the leash and turns into Tigger and is jumping all over the place, making it impossible for you to even put on the leash before you head out the door. Or maybe your dog is lunging, barking at the end of the leash. This week, we're breaking down why dogs pull, what we can do to fix it. Before we dive in, I just want to remind you to join the conversation. Jump in on the forum with all of your stories about your leash walking or leash training journey with your own dog, or post any questions that you have. So, why do dogs pull? At its core, it's simple. Dogs pull to move forward faster. Whether it's getting to their favorite tree or bush to sniff or pee on, or getting to say hi to someone, or chasing a squirrel, or maybe running away from something scary. They learn that adding tension to the leash makes them be able to move forward faster because we follow. Sometimes we can't help it. They're strong, they're motivated, they tug us right along with them. But what happens is that when they pull, it often works. So they learn that pulling is a really effective way to get what they want, which is often to move forward or to move in some other direction. Another leash issue that people have sometimes with their dogs is a dog lagging behind or freezing, refusing to walk, which is often caused by discomfort or fear or stress. Or they have the opposite issue where we've got their dog lunging and barking at the end of the leash, also often caused by fear, anxiety, sometimes just overexcitement. So what do we do about it? Let's break it down. There are 3 leash walking challenges that we see very commonly with dogs. Challenge 1 is when your dog is pulling like crazy towards something they want. When you walk out of the house, do you feel like you're being pulled by a husky who's pulling a sled? Pulling often happens because our dogs are so excited to be out in the world and just ready to explore. So what's the fix? We've got to burn off some energy before we even head out on that walk. Some options might be playing a quick game of tug of war or fetch, letting them sniff or run around in the yard before you go. You can encourage this by tossing a toy or scattering treats around. Do some leash training. Walk around your house on leash, rewarding them every 3 steps with a treat. Or maybe you walk around the backyard on leash, playing a little game of catch me. Build attention on leash, reward it, and burn a little energy before you head out on your walk. Challenge number 2, you've got a dog who freezes, lags behind, or doesn't want to move forward. Kind of the opposite issue of the puller. Some dogs lag behind because they're either nervous, distracted, or they're just not motivated enough. It could also be that they're in pain, so that would be worth a vet check if you're thinking that might be a contributing factor. But if pain is not an issue, we've got to focus on how to make moving more rewarding. We also need to build their confidence on their walks outside and build their attention on you so that you can support them. The first tip would be to use a high-value reinforcer, meaning a high-value treat. And what I'm not talking about here is a milk bone. What I am talking about is real meat or cheese. My best suggestion for you would be to take string cheese, cut it up into smaller pieces, pop that in your treat bag and use that. The other thing that you could do is take some kind of real meat. Maybe you boil chicken or beef, whatever. You've got pieces of real meat to use as a reward when you're outside the house. The other option would be to use a squeeze pouch of peanut butter or something else that you know is really high value for your dog. They do make in the grocery store little pouches Skippy, I think Jif probably, they make little pouches of peanut butter that you can just hold in your hand and give your dog licks of as reinforcement for moving forward. Talk to them and engage with them in an upbeat, confident voice. Really use your voice and your body as motivation. Keep them excited, keep them interested. Your energy matters. Reward any small bursts of movement with treats. So as soon as your dog is moving, yes, treat party. Oh my God, we're so excited, we're moving. And then try to keep them going. I will often, with dogs who are nervous about moving forward or are just deciding not to because they'd rather sniff something else, I will often keep them engaged by tossing treats forward as we're already moving forward. So I've got them moving forward. I'm going to keep it going by tossing treats forward and saying, find it. They eat that one. Great, find it. We keep moving forward. So that's a good way to encourage a dog who's lagging behind to move faster with you. If you've got a dog who is frozen and not moving because they're overwhelmed or they're very scared about their environment, I would recommend contacting a trainer to work on this in person or a behavior consultant to address the underlying fear, because sometimes it can be too much for normal training techniques to overcome, and we've really got to focus on building their overall level of confidence and security first. So if that's the case, hire someone that you trust. And if you need help finding them, let me know. I got you. And challenge 3 is lunging at various triggers. People, trucks, moving things, other dogs, exciting or distracting or scary things in their environment. Walking a lunging dog can be embarrassing. It can be frustrating. It can be dangerous, honestly. So we really want to work on addressing the lunging behavior so that we can keep everybody safe. A lunging dog is usually a sign of a dog who is over their threshold, over aroused, not capable of thinking and making a calmer choice. What's the fix? Giving them more space from whatever it is that is causing them to lunge. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is try to identify their comfort zone. How far away from this trigger do they need to be able to make a calmer choice to not lunge forward? Tip number 2, reinforce engagement with you or any calm behavior at that distance. Reward them for looking at you instead of looking at the trigger. Reward them for sniffing the ground instead of looking at the trigger. Anything that isn't fixating on that trigger is something that we can reinforce. Tip number 3, gradually decrease that distance over time. So it may take some time to get there, and that is okay. It probably will take some time. But as long as you're consistently supporting them, consistently teaching them that this is safe, they are safe, this is what we do in this situation, they will start to pick it up and you can decrease that distance. Remember, the goal isn't to force your dog to learn how to deal with it. The goal is to create a more positive emotional response to whatever it is that is causing them to lunge, and then teach them a better behavior. 3 of my very favorite ways to teach loose leash walking are: catch me if you can, is moving and engaging with your dog in a really fun, playful way, focusing on moving together. So I like to start this without the leash in a non-distracting environment, inside the house or whatever. And I'm going to say their name or make some other noise that gets them to look at me, and then I'm going to run away. As soon as they get to me, I'm going to throw a party. I'm going to say, oh my God, you caught me. I'm going to give them a treat, and then I'm going to move again. And as soon as they get to me, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to keep doing that, changing direction, changing my pacing. I'm keeping it fun and interesting for my dogs so that they can be reinforced for moving with me consistently and in a really fun way. The second game I love to play to train loose leash walking is a pattern game. So this pattern game involves counting out loud and reinforcing every third step, essentially. So the way we start training this is we say 3, we give a treat. We do that a few times. Then we say 2, 3, and we give a treat after 3. Do that a few times. Then we finally get to 1, 2, 3, treat. 1, 2, 3, treat. So I start to train this without moving with my dog at my side. And I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, give them a treat. 1, 2, 3, give them a treat. I'm going to do that until they're very eagerly looking at me after 3 for their treat. And then I'm going to start moving. So I count as I move out loud, 1, 2, 3. I give a treat after 3, and we start to move around the house like that. Next step would be to include the leash, and then to start to bring that game outside. And the last really fun way that I like to use to teach this leash walking is teaching the dog a couple of different positions. So I might teach a right side, a left side, a behind, a front, even a middle, so that when we're walking outside, I've got information to give my dog about where to put their body, and we can kind of work together on how to navigate the world together in a safer and a more fun way. So the first one I'll start to teach is one of my sides, right? So I might just say right side, give them a treat. When they move into the right side, I can lure them there with a treat. When they're really good at that one, I might add a left side. Then maybe a behind, then maybe a front, then maybe a middle. I do all of this by initially teaching it by luring with a treat, and then I move to just a hand movement, and then long term I've got either a hand movement or a verbal cue to use to get them into position so that we can have a fun and safe adventure together out in the world. Your challenge this week: pick one leash challenge to focus on and record your progress. So maybe you choose reducing pulling. Maybe you're going to choose encouraging movement forward. Maybe you choose managing the lunging behavior. Track your progress. Use a journal. Record your outings or your treating sessions with your dog, and then share your progress in our community. We want to see it. We want to share. We want to learn from each other. We want to help you continue to make progress. That's it, you guys. Have a really fun week working on leash skills with your dog. Remember to share any updates or progress or questions on the forum. And stay tuned. We will see you this week on Wag and Wonderment. Here's what you have to look forward to.